I'm 모르겠다.
I love you.
And I'm 모르겠다.
I love you.
And I'm 모르겠다.
I love you.
Girl, I wanna get down. And I'm 모르겠다.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Kimchi Creative. So today I decided to do a video that's a little bit different. It's kind of reminiscent of some of the videos I used to do with my other channel, Future Ramen. But after seeing the new Big Bang video, 모르겠다, I was really inspired and I wanted to do an analysis that was both cultural and also about fashion trends. And this song and video has taken Korea by storm. It's basically all that anybody can talk about. Even in my Korean language class, like at break time, everybody's always listening to it and watching other performances of it. So Big Bang still has a massive effect on Korea and Asia in general. This is not a reaction video. I'm not going to go all crazy fangirl on you, even though I am a Big Bang fan and have been for many years. I just think that it's quite significant and it really marks a change. So for me, as a trend forecaster, music videos in general have always been a continual source of information, especially when it comes to youth trends. This is especially the case for K-pop music videos because you can watch the latest video and it will immediately give you the temperature of Korea when it comes to fashion trends, makeup trends, choreography, musical styles, even attitude, like what's the latest swag to have. So when I saw 모르겠다 for the first time, I was truly shocked, but in a good way, because it felt like such a departure from everything we've been seeing in K-pop videos for the last few years. The first thing was the fashion. And I think it's really a significant change because athleisure has pretty much dominated K-pop for the last good 2 years. Athleisure is a style that kind of derives from hip-hop culture, that's like a very casual, easy to wear, streetwear style, and it was in pretty much all the male and female groups' videos all this time. So when I saw the Big Bang video, there was not a piece of athleisure to be seen, and it was just so obvious to me. What we saw was more styles reminiscent of the 60s, of the 70s, super bright and colorful, more tailored, and also references both to East and West at the same time. For example, one of the things I liked best was this coat that Top was wearing, that even though it had Western tailoring, it had these very cool Eastern dragons on it. The other thing that's significant is the fact that a lot of the styling in the video really reminds me of what's going on specifically in Korean fashion right now. A lot of the pieces in the video reminded me of things that I had seen on the runway at Seoul Fashion Week, what I saw people attending Seoul Fashion Week wearing, and even just on the streets in Gil and Hongdae. They remind me also of specific Korean brands that are really important here, such as Creasy Deem, Another Youth, More Than Dope, and Rocket Lunch. And I think it's really great to be able to represent Korean fashion as it is something that has come into its own and has its own unique style. Finally, the last element of fashion I noticed was the napan nam style. Napan nam means bad boy, and I had actually done a report a few months back for a trend forecasting company, and I called it Rebels with a Cause. And this has definitely not only come true, but I feel like it's just going to continue to grow, especially in light of the political events that have been going on here. If you've read the news, you'll have seen that for the last few weeks, there have been massive protests here that just kept increasing in size to the point that one of the biggest ones was about 1.5 million people in the streets of Seoul, all calling for the impeachment of Park Geun-hye. So this country is obviously undergoing a massive shift, both politically as well as culturally, and many of the people protesting are young people. So there's definitely a desire for rebellion, even though maybe it's a responsible one, because I have to say what I find amazing is that at the end of every protest, everybody would clean up after themselves and they would be completely peaceful. So bravo Korea, that's amazing. But nonetheless, you know, they still want to rebel against the old ways, and this is being represented in their fashion. So we've been seeing elements of punk, of like ripped and torn clothing, tattoos, piercings, And this is definitely a departure from what was culturally acceptable in Korea in the last few years. Like, all of these things were kind of frowned upon before, but now the youth kind of uphold them as elements of style, but that also reflect what is going on in their country. The other thing that I noticed in this video was the backdrop itself. As soon as you start watching it, you realize that they're in an old hanok, a traditional house, both in the garden as well as inside. They also shoot in alleyways and an old market, and these old school stores with a bunch of like mixed stuff in them. And this is a side of Korea that when you live here, you see it, but that's not kind of advertised touristically, let's put it this way. But I think it's incredibly charming, and that's old Seoul and that's old Korea. And the fact that they chose to represent this in this video is not random, especially because when you look back at their video Bad Boy from 2012, that was shot in New York City and Brooklyn, in a really grungy area of Brooklyn. I actually used to live nearby there, so I can say that. But it was almost like, to qualify as being a bad boy, as the title of the song, you had to be shot on the backdrop of this, you know, graffiti covered, slightly decrepit zone of the mean streets of New York. Whereas now, it's like they don't need that anymore. You can still be a rebel, but you can also embrace being Korean and living in this amazing country. This also is a true homage to their culture and their traditions. If you read up on Korean history, you know that this country had incredible hardships and went through a lot of turmoil. So it's only normal that the older generations, they kind of rejected anything that was old, and for them, optimism and their future was represented by what was new, and like new construction and like new everything, you know, and kind of covering up maybe some of the things in the past. But finally, the younger generations, I guess with a bit of distance, they realize that they need to embrace their traditions and culture, that there's something really beautiful about it. So again, I think that Big Bang, they set out to do this in this music video by showing the parts of Seoul that we normally never see, that normally never get represented. In conclusion, yes, this is a classic Big Bang music video. You have all 5 members doing their solos and then coming together and then having like a big party scene in the end, but this time in this, like, you know, old school club. And the song is about, you know, love and relationships, but I think where the real love lies in this song and video is actually for Korea. I think that, you know, they were very conscientious when they made this video and what was going on in their society, and they wanted to embrace what was culturally theirs, and I look forward to more groups doing this. I really think that Big Bang has a massive influence over pop culture in general, and I think this is just the beginning of a change that's pretty significant. So I'm optimistic. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video interesting. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it and you want to see more. I'd be happy to do them. Anyway, bye!
이러지도 저러지도 못했네 입 밖 미터 가기 전에